You do.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hello,
we're live. How are
ladies.
you guys?
Happy Saturday of your life. I'm Missy Strasner. I help women get to their next level in their business and with their life to create the life that they desire, to create the impact, wealth, and influence that they desire, sharing their gifts, getting over their fears and limiting beliefs, and really owning their power and their confidence and being amazing feminine leaders in their lives and with their work.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that. Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Cindy Olin, love and relationship coach. Um, I help women to receive the love that they deeply desire and attract in love that matches their desires and their hearts and create an epic love story and really embodying themselves their feminine empowerment and leadership in their life. um, You guys are all rock stars for being here and joining us and really stepping into this opportunity of growth this week. And if you joined us before, that's, double kudos to you. I know many people are doing this for the second time, and it's a little bit of a different challenge, more focused on your feminine mastery and how to um, stand in your feminine and what that looks like every day. And our challenges have been challenges, experiences that we're inviting you to do have been centered around mastering your feminine empowerment and leadership in your life. So we're excited. I can't believe it's day 6 already. Um, Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, it does.
Yes. Go ahead and kick it off because this is a really big topic today, and I would invite you, even if you think you got this, I would challenge you
Mhm.
to to actually look at it on a deeper level. And that's part of what we're creating today is deeper intimacy with you so that you can receive that as well.
Mm.
So kick it off.
Okay. I love this topic so much, and it was so divine today because we had 6 new women join in the Love and Money Upgrade Facebook group, and 4 of them mentioned that they wanted to learn more about receiving and how to step into their feminine, and business owners, driven women, single, looking for their beloved, looking for their first partner, and one of them looking for her second partner. I mean, I think she's. I mean, I didn't get the message. I didn't get the memo that she wants 2 partners at the same time. I got the memo. I interpreted that as
I mean, she could.
she could.
Too, but
Interpreted it
maybe
as,
her last partner. Maybe
yeah,
she's looking for
she's looking for
her.
her partner to
Mhm.
do this, to do life with. So the topic of receiving is really interesting because I work with, and Cindy does too, but I'll speak for myself. I work with women that have created a successful business. They are savvy and sharp, and they've most likely made 6 figures in their life before even starting their business. So they're going into it being driven, understanding corporate, understanding enrollment, and some level of leadership within themselves, and yet they don't have that awareness and ability of how they're blocking receiving, how they're blocking opportunities, how they're blocking the energetic flow of how us as women and mastering ourselves, we are designed and created to receive. And so I wanted to give some examples and just speak into how you could be blocking this and you don't even know it. And even sharing with you our offer, at the end, and walking through how we, have been working here with you all week, how we've gone over so much juicy content about mastering your feminine and embodying being a female and owning your power and confidence, and the ways to do it, the energy to do it, the support to do it, and offering and giving and inviting. It's like, if you felt aligned, are you going to step in to receive? Are you going to step in to receive day one's invitation of, the exercise, and take the coaching and the training? Like, where are you, and what is your relationship with receiving right now? So if you think that you're like, I love that Cindy talked about that. If you think you're like, no, I got this receiving thing, like, I'm good, I understand. Yeah, I would ask you to just think about a couple examples that have come to me with clients in the past that, again, are successful, and are crushing it in business, building seven-figure businesses, building empires, like, savvy, sophisticated. Some of them also having relationships, some of them not, but wanting it all. And yet saying, no, thank you, I got this. No, thank you, I got this. We were talking about the person at the grocery store that's like, can I help you with this? No, I got it. Um, I'd love to take you out to dinner. No, I got you. Like, or I've got it myself. Or in relationships with partners that you're like, fine, and you use the I got it energy for control. You use it for manipulation. You use it for different coping areas out of scarcity. And you're blocking off the energetic flow of receiving and manifesting and collapsing time and creating what you want even faster, because you're saying no to it. And that small little area of you saying no, of I got it, I got the door, I got the check, I can do this myself. We talked the other day about uh, you know, outsourcing and asking for support. Right. So now we're going to talk about actually receiving, being willing to ask for it, and the discomfort that often happens with asking for it. If you're used to doing it all yourself and you want to take care of it, and you want to be independent, and you don't want to be needy, and you don't want to seem like a burden, but yet at the flip side, that is like completely out of alignment with what you're saying, with what most women are saying, which is, I want to feel safe and secure in my relationships. I want to feel taken care of. And it's not to say that I can't also take care of myself. It's like the both and. I also want a partner that steps in, and like, I just get to like worry about like other things besides handling all of the mechanics and the logistics and holding the door and doing this and doing this. We talked about outsourcing, we talked about investing in yourself and your personal development, and investing in you, creating the energy, the skill sets, the mindset, having the tools, support, accountability. We spoke into that because it's not just you creating this. And it's, if you've been somebody that's blocked energetic flow, and you'll know that because of your results, you'll know that because you have like nerves come up with asking, you'll know that because you have resentment that people aren't doing enough for you, or it's not enough.
Or yeah, or you have like, what about me energy, almost poor me, and or just like, when is it my turn energy
Yeah.
too.
Like, so I'll call it like completely back to not owning responsibility and being a victim to the
Victim
circumstance.
island.
Victim island, the victim to the circumstance of, he is not doing enough for me. I always have to do everything on my own. No one wants to help me. They can't do it as good as me anyway. Like, all of these stories of, but yet I want to feel taken care. I want to feel like I'm receiving. I want to feel this reciprocity in relationships. And so when I say you're blocking off the energetic flow of receiving and creating more abundance, these are just small little tweaks that make such a big mean everything in your love life and in your business, because you're not willing to step out of your comfort zone to actually be wrong about why you need to be right about why you've got to do all of these things on your own. Cindy, what are you hearing me say when I'm saying this? I want to make sure that it's resonating. And I want you to speak into this because receiving and that topic is your jam.
Yeah, I took a few notes because the things that came out are super important. Um, you might be blocking receiving for means of control, means of manipulation, and that could be unconscious, by the way, because maybe that was modeled to you. No, 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 I got it. It's okay. It's okay. Um, so blocking the energetic flow of receiving. So, what are some examples of that? I know you said a lot more than that, but those are the areas that I wanted to really hone in on, because I think a lot of times we don't even realize we're blocking the energetic flow
Mhm,
of receiving. And um and it's not it's part of what it's about is allowing, and it doesn't have to look a certain way.
mhm,
You know,
mhm,
you might be texting on your phone or in the middle of, formulating a text to a client, and your man comes up behind you and he puts his arms around you, and you could be like, get
mhm,
off of me
mhm,
because I'm doing this. But if you received it and took a minute to luxuriate in that, then you're going to be in more receivership flow.
mhm,
It's like the same thing of asking for help. This is something that I give as an assignment to many of my clients, asking for help. So whether it be, you're in the coffee line and you get your coffee, and maybe you ask the barista to get you a straw when you're fully capable, but you ask them to do that for you, or a
mhm,
napkin. You're receiving, oh, thank you so much. You saved me.
mhm,
And to a man, and I'll share a quick story I have around this because it's one of my favorite stories around receiving. Um, to a man, that's part of him being in service to the feminine. So if a man says, oh, let me get your coffee, you're like, no, 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 don't be silly, I've got it. What happens is it's like it's a form of emasculation.
mhm,
And what we don't realize is we're emasculating constantly by doing things like that. Or he says, wow, you look beautiful today. No,
mhm,
oh, whatever. This old dress, this old thing, I'm
mhm,
okay. Um, or I'm not feeling that hot. So it's like, then what happens is you start to impart that idea inside of them, and they start looking for ways that you're not looking that hot or feeling, like they start to look for the disconnect too when you give people ideas, but you're blocking rather
I
than going, go ahead.
Yeah, I love that. I was gonna say, also if they're giving you compliments and you're like, no, that's rejection too. Like, why do they want to keep giving you compliments if you're like shutting it down? And
Yeah,
then you're like,
yeah.
you never tell me anything nice. And or you never compliment me on that anymore. And they're like, well, every time I did that before, you shut it down.
Yeah. And that emasculation is rejection. It's like brushing someone off. making, and they almost take it as making you wrong, making them wrong. Um, I remember, I can think of a couple different stories, but I remember this one time I was in the grocery store with my son and he was littler, and he was maybe 2 or 3, and he's better now, but he had a pretty short fuse for grocery shopping at times, and I knew it. I knew when I had a short window, so I would literally be it was like a sprint through the grocery store. So I had the cart, I had him, and I was looking for those, those Boca burgers, those little meatless patties. So I was looking for some of those, and I was in a store that I don't normally go to, so I couldn't find them. And I saw this gentleman that worked there, and I was like, "Hey, I really need your help." And he goes, "Yes, sure. What do you need?" I said, do you guys have those Boca burgers? You know where they're at?" He goes, "Yeah, let me take you to them." So he takes us to them. "Thank you so much. You saved me." And he goes, "Oh, you are so welcome." He goes, "What else do you need? Do you need me to go get you anything else?"
Mhm.
That guy, had I asked, he would have literally followed me around the store or grabbed the rest of my groceries, because I was so appreciative and allowed myself to receive with gratitude. Now, those are really simple ones. I remember too, one time I was, again, my son was little, and he was in his little stroller, and I was grabbing takeout from a restaurant. It was really busy, and I was, weaving the stroller, it was kind of a big one, out of the restaurant, and this gentleman runs in front of me to open the door. And I was like, "Wow, I thank you so much. You are such a gentleman." And and you're I I don't know if he was married or whatever, but I said something along the lines of, um, "Your woman's a lucky lady." And he was like, and his chest literally puffed out. And he was like, "Oh, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal." And I was like, "Well, to me, it was. Thank you so much." And he had a smile ear to ear. So even if a guy downplays it, kind of like you, if you were to downplay, he's doing cartwheels in his head.
Mhm.
He is. So, you know, we block ourselves from receiving all the time. And a lot of times it can be through guilt, or not the underlying feeling can be, I don't want to owe somebody something else. So relationships are transactional. I'm keeping score.
Mhm.
And if you find that you keep score of relationships, then you're going to, keep score of what they're doing in relationships. Then you're going to attract relationships that are more transactional
Mhm.
rather than unconditional, rather
Mhm.
than someone that is accepting you for you.
Mhm.
You want to add to this?
Yeah. Um, Something else to just note when it comes to receiving is when we say you're blocking off the energetic flow of receiving and being magnetic, you're also robbing the other person of the joy of giving. So it's like, when
Mhm.
I'm like, "Cindy, you look so beautiful today." 'Cause she looks beautiful every day. And she's like, "Thank you so much." And I'm like, "Oh, I made her feel good." Right? Like versus like if you're like, "No, oh," I was like, "Oh, the vibrational frequency now has taken
Mhm.
me from like higher to like, oh, I'm almost matching this like lower state of I don't look good enough. It's not really, you're not being honest with me. I don't trust you. I'm in my head about it. Right. So it's like all of these kind of same things. And this, you can apply this with, again, this is our jam, right? We do love and money, we do love and business. Um, and it's really the same underlying story of worthiness underneath it. Like, am I really worthy? I love that you talk about keeping tabs. Um, am I willing to be uncomfortable and risk like the smallest thing to ask somebody for something, and they might say no, and I still get to be strong and grounded in who I am, which we worked on the last couple days, and your feminine mastery of not needing external validation or external reward in order to be strong
Mhm.
and grounded and like, and ownership and responsible for how you feel and what you're making things mean. But if you don't and you're not willing to put yourself out there and willing to receive, and if that's something that you want, I want a man to like show up and seduce me, and then he shows up and seduces you and you're like, I'm not in the mood right now, or like, I like something isn't perfect, or you're not willing to ask him like, hey, I really love it. Cindy's so good at this. I really love it when you do this. I really, and then giving them the opportunity to not do it, which we could interpret as rejection and make it about us, or
Mhm.
not do it and be like, oh, that's cool. Maybe he didn't get it. I'll ask him again,
Mhm.
or I'll ask him in a different way. And also going back to yesterday's training about how you're being with this, it's like I teach this exercise about like using your body to like be in flow versus like so rigid. And you can notice like the example when the partner comes over to like hug you and you're like, oh, like and I do that, you guys. Like I totally do that. And when I'm not conscious, because I'm like focused and I have this, like my masculine energy is strong. Like I'm strong
Mhm.
in it. I'm strong in my feminine, but I'm strong in it. And I've got to remember like to teach myself how to flow and be like, hey, and almost use my body of like to get out of like rigidity and like, hey, like awesome, like, and by moving your body like this, it changes the way that you speak. And so sometimes
Mhm.
my partner would walk in, I'd be like, oh, hold on, right? And then I'm like, hold on, and I like would do that, and it like changes my energy and it changes the appeal of like, hey, how can I show up for you? Oh, it looks like you're busy versus, oh, like you're always so busy doing work, right? And it like takes away that
Mhm.
energy of like
Well,
work
and it
stuff.
takes away the spontaneity
Yeah.
and something, the message that I tell myself, because my guy is one, he comes up behind me, give me a hug, and he does it a lot and all. I mean, it's just, he's super demonstrative and affectionate, and I love it. Love, love, love it. And sometimes I'm truly busy. Like I'm putting the laundry in the dryer. I'm doing, like, or I'm messaging a client, or I'm doing something that is in, but you see, I'm in my doing. The thing that I tell myself is pause. Just pause, because I'm not going to get this moment back. And the laundry can wait, the client message can wait, and I'm going to allow myself to receive so I can be in that abundant flow.
Mhm.
And it
Mhm.
doesn't have to look a certain way, like at 6 o'clock at night when maybe I've got downtime now, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't have to look that way all the time.
Mhm.
And I love that playful energy that he also has too. It's fun, it's open, and it brings out um that flow within me, because like you, I can do the same thing. I can be like, "Mm." I call myself a cat. I am a Leo, but
Mhm.
I mean, it's like, I could do that when I'm, in the flow. I mean, my son will sometimes come up and just want to hug me, and I'm in the middle of doing things, and I'm like, really? This feels inconvenient. But receivership can be inconvenient sometimes. I know that sounds weird, but when you're looking at holding more, holding a larger capacity, holding more money, receiving more loving money, receiving in true partnership. You get to look at the fact that it's not going to look exactly how you want it to look all the time. Hence, all the men aren't going to look exactly how you want them to look all the time. But you get to open up and experience it for growth, anyways, to hone in on your heart's desires and create bigger space, more space in your heart, um, to be in receivership for what it is you want. Oftentimes, I see women settling and they know it. Like, they're most of the time, if you're settling, there's this tugging anxiety underneath. There's just something, you're settling for something. And so it's usually because there's so much fear that I'm just not going to get what I want, that I better take someone that checks at least 3 of the boxes, right?
Mhm.
Um, and part of this receivership commands you to step into a deeper level of self-trust and learning how to build self-trust. It's okay if you've broken it. It's okay. I mean, I think we've talked about this a little bit,
Mhm.
around, oh, I'm going to start that, um, that eating plan, and then by the end of the day, you're, drinking a glass of wine or eating chocolate cake or whatever you're doing, right?
Mhm.
And it's it's like that reptilian brain will take over until you are allowing yourself a next level of vibrational state and consciousness. So, like what you were saying, Missy, around when you say no, 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 or you don't take it, the thing, what also happens is she just started speaking into it. You automatically lower the frequency, you automatically lower your vibrational state, and that person can only meet you there. So
And they don't
you
want to give
can,
you more, right? Because it doesn't feel fulfilling to them.
no, no, they want to they want to retreat. They want to pull back. And when you're like that, what that does is it creates a man or a partner that leans back. He doesn't plan dates. He doesn't do much because you're very conditional with what you're allowing yourself to receive. And you might be going, well, I don't do that, but there's likely some level of that. And if
Mhm.
he doesn't feel the affirmation that you actually trust him, and you know that he's going to come up with great ideas and you can inspire him to do what you want him to do, and that's part of, I do that work with my clients. I will be teaching that in our 6-week program, Immerse, around inspiration, and how, a lot of times we get fearful as women. We're like, oh, I really want X, but I want him to lead. Well, there's a way to get him to do what you want him to do by making the request in an inspired way and letting it be his idea. It doesn't have to be yours, and just keep the idea in your head. Would I rather be right, or would I rather be happy?
Mhm.
And allowing for room for him to show up, because men aren't always the idea guys. They can come up with really great ideas, but they're usually from our inspiration.
Because they want to make us happy.
And they want to be set up to win. That's why when a man's asking you out on a date, he's like, well, where do you want to eat? And women are like, oh, where does he do that? Just take me out. I
Yeah,
mean,
I want you to pick, and like I want you
right.
to.
But he wants to be set up to win.
Mhm.
So when you say something like, maybe you've got something in mind, right? If you say, oh, well, tell me what you were thinking. Um, I can tell you I really love sushi. I love, Thai food. Sometimes I can really be in the mood for Mexican. I love a great steak, whatever, right? Whatever you could say that. And if he's like, oh, how about this place? Or, oh, I know the place to take you. Ooh, that sounds great. But if it doesn't sound good to you that night, ooh, that could be a really good idea. What else you got? So you're not poo-pooing him. You're not receiving it. You're like, ooh, that could be good. What else you thinking?
Mhm. I
Right?
love that. Yeah.
And then when he does win, he hits the jackpot because he will. He'll say it. Maybe you're in the mood for yummy Thai food. Um, And he goes, oh, how about Thai food? Oh, what a great idea. You come up with such great ideas. Yes. And then you've allowed yourself to receive. He's winning. He's excited.
Mhm.
It works. It's a simple, easy way to create winning. And if you're in a space where something I shared was intimacy. How do we create intimacy? Well, part of intimacy is receiving because it's trusting. And intimacy is asking for help and the risk of somebody saying, I can't do it or no,
Mhm.
and not creating a story around it, not making them wrong, not making it, okay, ooh, all right, on to the next person,
Mhm.
right? But if you could imagine if you're standing in front of a man that could be, let's just say he's your ideal guy, like looks, he's got all the things that you want, the emotional intelligence, the success, like he's got it all sprinkled in there, right? And he's standing in front of you and you're looking at him and he's looking at you and you are focused on, oh my gosh, I hope I say the right thing. Oh my gosh, I hope he doesn't see my muffin top. Oh my gosh, I, I, you know, what if he doesn't like me? Oh my gosh. So when you're focused like that, they feel that energy and they feel you being disconnected from them. And they don't know what it is, but it's hard for them to connect with you.
Mhm.
So imagine if you're in front of the same guy and you had amnesia. You couldn't remember anything that was any of your fears and doubts about yourself. You couldn't remember any of that. And you're just standing in front of this man and he's looking at you and he's smiling at you. How will you feel? Probably beaming like a shining star, right? But looking at that and allowing that and knowing that, gosh, wouldn't it be nice if we could have amnesia? Um, and you could just focus on, what is the amazingness I see in front of me? What is the gift? Because when you're focused on getting in your head or that sentence that he said, and you're making it mean something, then you lose the presence and the intimacy of the moment. And oftentimes, as women, um, we have this limiting belief that we need to be all the things. We need to be our ultimate success, um, you know, ultimate position, or at this place in our entrepreneurship, and then, have the best body and have all of the things exactly where it should be in your mind, right? Your idea, because it's never somebody else, it's your idea of what the perfect woman should be. Then what happens is you miss the things that are coming towards you. You're missing the things that could be really beautiful and amazing.
And magical. You're missing the magic,
Magical.
the
You
expectation.
really are. And um, so part of the journey is allowing yourself to receive and allowing yourself the growth along the way. And if you say yes to a guy and you meet him for a coffee, or you meet him for a lunch or a bite to eat, he doesn't have to be your possible husband or your boyfriend. He could just simply be a beautiful soul that's sitting in front of you, that you will get to see a gift in. But if you're so concerned on the destination, like where this could go, you're not going to be present to where the gifts that you get to receive along the way. So go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. Speaking of destinations and receiving, I do want to talk about immerse and really powerfully invite you, if you are feeling like you're driven, you're building your business, you're successful in business, and you want to take it to the next level with your money mindset, with your love life, breaking through your patterns of attracting the same kinds of people, the same kinds of men in your life, hitting a certain 3 dates and not getting past that, hitting a certain time limit before, where it doesn't work out, or settling or tolerating somebody, or not fully being in your power and being clear. I do want to really powerfully invite you to work with us and join in. We're creating this sacred, kick-ass, epic space to support you in getting clear on what you want with your love life and with your business, with your money, with your wealth. Like picking 2 topics and having 6 weeks with us to achieve what you want to achieve, and collapsing time of not taking the entire 2022 or 2022 to make this happen, to getting the tools and the skills and the support and the container, to level up your energy, to level up your mindset, to feel sharp and powerful in yourself with your feminine, mastering yourself, and spending, having direct coaching with us to really support you and stop doing it on your own. So you came here, you signed up. There's a reason why you signed up. It was you're attracted to love, you're attracted to wanting to create more abundance and money in your life. We've got an offer. If it's in alignment with what you're saying that you want, here's the invitation to receive. We have it on special for the month of February. We kick it off. You'll start right away with working with us, but we kick off our first call on February 22nd. 2022, and we have it on special right now. It's a $5,000 program for 6 weeks. We're diving deep. You're going to get clear. You're going to have the steps. You're going to have the accountability and support, and it's for $2,200, or you can do 2 payments of $1,250. And so we wanted to just hook you guys up to make it easy to say yes, to make it an easy win, to really set you up to win, to create a powerful container, to support you and have fun doing it. And so I want to make sure that you have the invitation. Another thing just to mention, if you're interested, even like you're like, like if you feel that feeling, it's the same willingness to get uncomfortable to receive. It's that
Yeah,
same
if you
thing.
feel scared and you're interested and you're intrigued, I invite you to go interested and post it in the comments. We'll be, we'll post a link to step in to the container. Like Missy said, we start right away. Our official class starts 2/22, which is kind of by design. And we're excited. We're excited to go even deeper and peel back those layers of and allow yourself to receive, to get that support, to have us literally in your ear, in your head for 6 weeks, all the time,
Mhm.
and speaking into it, speaking life into your vision,
Mhm.
and supporting you and getting the wins along the way. The first step is seeing, right? Seeing there's an opportunity for growth. We all have opportunities for growth. And, you know, giving yourself this opportunity. Life is now. It's not in 6 months. We don't know what's going to happen, right? Um, Life is now. And don't you feel the energy and the momentum of this year and what you can create this year now? I do. I know I
Mhm.
do. And, what's interesting is sometimes it's like a couple little tweaks to have you go to next level. Just like, ooh, so if we tweak this and that, then maybe it's that book you've wanted to write. Maybe that it's that next level of attracting clients and how to how to receive that on a deeper level and opening up to that possibility. It's that next level of learning how to date really effectively for you and not put yourself in a box. Even when you've had, bad experiences online um, or your heart's been broken. But, you know, allowing, clearing out, I do a lot of work with clearing out that heart space so you're able to receive. We're going to get you so far in 6 weeks that we can get you so far, but we'll get you in a place where you are stepping into that next level. I promise we won't leave you behind. We're you know we are definitely the kind of leaders and coaches that if you're sitting on the sidelines in the group, we're going to come talk to you. We're going to come support you and raise you up to that frequency and vibration and give you things to raise that frequency, because that's such an important step during this transformational journey. So we're excited for you. And today, your challenge is not only to challenge yourself to step into, immerse, or have a conversation with us. Your next challenge is to ask somebody to do something uncomfortable. So whether it's, hey, would you mind buying me a coffee today? Or would you mind taking a look at my,
Mm. Mhm.
I don't know, something in my house? And it's not somebody that you ask all the time, by the way. If you always ask your brother for help around your house, doesn't count. And he's always happy to do it because he loves you, wants to take care of you. Imagine opening that up to someone else so
Mhm.
you can receive that. And
Yeah.
ladies, if you want to bring in love, you know, go to the grocery store and ask for help on that top shelf. Or if you're like, well, I'm, 5'11" already, I don't really need help on the top shelf. Well, lucky you. I am I'm the girl that always needs help on the top shelf. But um, say yes to getting help out to your car or ask for it
Mhm.
without guilt, without, oh, I should reserve that for no. Like, allow yourself to receive because that is part of raising that vibe and stepping into the next level. So we are excited for you. We have a even bigger treat tomorrow. We'll be on Zoom. So you can join us on Zoom and the training may be just, a little bit longer, but it'll be fun. Um so we are excited.
Yes, come tomorrow so
Um
you can get live coaching with us and we can connect with you and support you with where you're at and talk to you directly. So we'll put the Zoom information in the Facebook group and receive.
Yes, and we'll put the link to Immerse
Mhm.
in the group for you as well. And we can't wait to hear how it goes when you're asking for help, what happened, what came up, what transpired. We as women, I feel like we have this like loving people pleasery thing by nature. So if Missy and I are together, you know, we might be fighting over one another to who's going to buy the coffee, right? But but yes and no, right? So if she were to offer first, I'd be like, oh, thank you, love. I will receive it.
Yeah.
Um, and vice versa. So it's when you have that symbiotic relationship, you feel it. It's in flow and you're not keeping score. You're not keeping score. And that's a really important thing. And if you found yourself in more transactional relationships because maybe that's how you grew up or maybe that was what you've experienced or there's some little bit of trauma around that, um, allow yourself to break through and receive support today. So that's all I got.
And see you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing day. See you live tomorrow.
Bye.